Alrighty, what we're going to be doing today is the CombineTwo project. So what we're going to be doing is taking something and cutting it out and putting it somewhere else. So right now, I know that I have a picture of Dot that I would love to use, so we're going to double click on that. We're going to go ahead and download it. And then if you press escape on your keyboard and go back, I'm going to look at some of my other homework to see where I would like to place her. So I'm going to put her in this landscape photo. Now I know it will definitely look photoshopped, and that's completely fine. Sometimes these end up looking a little funny, but that's part of the fun of it. We're just kind of learning these concepts. So I'm going to download this one as well. Now we need to move these pictures into our H drive. If you remember, these pictures will they will be wiped every so often. So one was taken in Snapchat and one is 201. Sorry, I'm just making sure I can find them in my downloads that I need to clean up. So we're going to S's for Snapchat. Maybe. Okay. Let's try this again. So there's that one. Now, okay, going back the other way. Okay. Well, this is fun. I'm going to get a look at all of my downloads. Well, how about this? We will go back to here, click on that, and I'm having a hard time finding this one. So we're going to do File, Make a Copy, go into our H drive, Photography folder, and we'll save it there. And then we can go back to here, click on the other one, File, Make a Copy, and make sure it's in your H drive. It should already be there. You never know. So we're going to go back into there, save it there. Alrighty, so now we're going to go into the fun of Photoshop. So we are starting, I just did the emphasis project video, so we are starting a new project. So we'll need to do File, File, New, and this one is going to be Combine and your last name. My background picture, so that landscape picture I picked, is side to side. So my width will be 10 and my height 8, and this is inches. If your background image is an up and down image, your width will be 8 and your height 10. You'll press OK or create, whatever looks right on your screen. So now you have a blank white canvas. What we're going to do now is let me rearrange this a little bit. We are going to open our other picture. So we'll do File, Open, go to our H drive. Should already be there, but you never know. And I'm going to select my background image, and then File, Open, and I'm going to select my other picture. Okay, so we have 3 different tabs open, right? Yes. What we're going to do is we're going to get our background image onto our white canvas. So what we do, you either hit Control A on your keyboard or you go to Select All, and then you'll do either Control C or Edit, Copy, click on your blank canvas, Control V or Edit, Paste. Mine's way too big, so we'll zoom out. You can press Z on your keyboard to get to the zoom button. You can press Alt to change it on your keyboard, or you can just go up here and press minus to zoom out. Now we need to resize it. Control T on your keyboard or edit, transform. Okay. While pressing and holding the shift button on your computer, you're going to drag in the corners. Do not drag in the side or the top. Remember, some might have parts that fall off. It's natural, it happens. You can go back and zoom in. We want a plus sign. So if you want it to pick where it falls, you can press on this arrow button up at the top and you can kind of move your picture around and decide what you want. I'm going to have mine right just like that. Now we need to cut out our object so we can place it over on that other canvas we just made. So I'm going to cut out this picture of Dorothy and I want to zoom in quite a bit. Now we're going to be using a new tool. Remember how I said if you hover over these, they'll tell you what tool they are? Magnetic Lasso. So click and hold. You have the Lasso, Polygon Lasso tool, and Magnetic Lasso tool. I like the Magnetic Lasso tool for this project. You might decide you like something different. Zoom in a little bit more. It's kind of a dark picture. I think I'm going to try to lighten it. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to go to not edit, image, adjustments, brightness and contrast. I'm just going to brighten it a little bit so I can see more information. Make sure it's centered in that. Now I'm going to go back and get this Magnetic Lasso tool. And the thing is, you're kind of going around your subject, and it's not going to be perfect. That's fine. If, let's say, you start getting wonky and you're like, oh, Summerlot, I don't know what to do, press Escape on your keyboard and it gets rid of it and you can start fresh. So every once in a while, I like to click on my mouse as I'm tracing around the object. It's not going to be perfect, and that is absolutely fine. Once again, like I said before, these aren't going to be perfect, but they could be funny, and you're learning something from it, and that's absolutely fine. That's the whole goal of this. If you already knew everything about Photoshop, I'd look at you and say, why are you in here? And I kind of feel like there's always something more to learn in Photoshop. I always learn more. Being a little loose with this right now, I cut a little bit of her foot off down below. Life will go on. We know it's not her actual foot. She is still running around the house being crazy. So we've got to complete this circle as we go around. And when you complete it, it becomes a dotted line. So you want to click right where, oh, the magic. Okay, so now there's a dotted line going around. And we want to take this and we want to copy it. So we're going to go Edit, Copy, go over to that Combined Summerlot project where we just took our landscape, and we're going to do Edit, Paste. Uh-oh, look how big dot is. That's hilarious. On the arrow button up here, you're going to select it. And what we're going to do, much like we did with the background image, we're going to resize it. So you're going to hit either Control T or on your keyboard, or Edit, Transform, Scale. So now she has a white box around her. Press and hold the Shift button, and you're going to drag in the corners. Don't watch what happens to Dorothy. You pull in from the side. Uh-oh, that's not right. If you pull in over here, that's not right. I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to do Edit, Step Backward. Uh-oh, won't let me do that, so I'm going to exit out of it, start fresh. We're going to do Edit, Transform, Scale. Pressing and holding the Shift button, we're going to bring in the corners, and we're going to place her where we want. Still a little too tall, so we're going to bring it down a little bit. Feel like that's probably more of the bite-sized Dorothy that I know. So I'm going to double click on that. Now if you notice, when she was bigger, she definitely had some extra stuff going around her. So we're going to zoom in on just Dorothy, and much like the Emphasis project, we're going to erase what we don't want. So grab your eraser tool, and this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to resize it though. That's a pretty big brush. Okay, that's a little bit better. And you're just going to kind of clean up some things. Yours might be a little crisper than mine is. You might need to spend a little bit more time giving it a little bit more detail. It depends on what yours looks like. Definitely easier to do this with a mouse. So I'm just going to clean up a little bit here. Okay, so we're going to zoom out, and that is essentially all we do for this project. So we'll do File, Save As, Combine Summerlot, make sure that you are in your H drive photography folder. I'm going to save it as a Photoshop document in case I want to go back and work on it later. Press OK, and now I want to save it as a JPEG. So we're going to File, Save As. Underneath here where it says Photoshop, click and choose that first JPEG option. Should already be in your H drive, make sure though, and hit Save. I always make sure the toggle's all the way to the right. At this point we're turning in the project, so to turn it in, you'll create a blog post. The title would be CombineTwo Photoshop Project. Label would be Projects. You can even label it Photoshop if you want to have that category. And then you'll put your original picture or your original 2 pictures and your final product. Explain what you did and what you were tasked to do and what you did. Why did you choose the images you chose? You'll publish the blog, take that web address, go to Canvas, find the CombineTwo project area. In the comments, you'll paste that web address, and then you'll also choose the file of the edited image that you created. And that's how you turn in the project. I hope you enjoyed.